Good evening, my brothers that are walking the semen retention journey and pursuing a righteous way of life to become a soul of light that loves like Jesus. Guys, I got something new tonight, a little bit of background music, or not really music, but just mood sounds from a YouTube channel. Let me know if you like it or not. Today is a Bible study lesson. Not really a lesson, just an observation, you guys. I was doing my daily Bible reading in the Blue Letter Bible app that I've talked about, that I use. And your daily reading may be different because it waits for you. If you miss a day or two, it doesn't jump ahead, it waits for you. So it just depends on when you start reading and what plan you use. So mine happens to be today. Came on Job 31. That's in the Old Testament. A little background about that book, if you haven't read it. Job is a righteous man, and Satan asks God to afflict him, and God gives Satan permission to do so. So Job loses everything, and he's diseased, and he's wondering why. And so here in Job 31, we come across the sin of lust again, you guys, which is the main demon that attempts to destroy us through lust. But let's get to what Job says. Chapter 31, it says Job's final protest of innocence, because he's saying, hey, I'm innocent, Lord. Why am I being afflicted? So he says, I made a covenant with my eyes not to look with lust at a young woman. Think about that for a minute. Not to look with lust at a young woman. Now, we all know women are in their most beautiful prime in their 20s. And it was it was the same thousands of years ago. Human beings haven't really changed. So he's saying, I made a covenant. He told God, I will not look at a young woman and lust after her. Yes, you can look and say, wow, she's beautiful, but once you start lusting, you let the demon of lust take over, and you start to fantasize about that young woman, and you start having, I'll just say, X-rated thoughts about her, then the demon of lust is manifested in you. But he made a covenant not to do that, and that's what we have made a choice on the semen retention journey, not to lust. So it's important not to peek at Instagram or TikTok or X-rated material on the internet. I mean, I've seen TikTok before. I don't go back to that. I never will. It's lots of young women doing little dances or whatever they're doing, and it's as bad as X-rated material, in my opinion, because it causes a man to lust. So stay away from those sites. Don't click through the pictures just because they're not naked. It doesn't mean you can't lust after them. They're still beautiful and scantily clad. Well, that was verse 1. Let's go on. For what has God above chosen for us? What is our inheritance from the Almighty on high? Isn't it calamity for the wicked and misfortune for those who do evil? Doesn't he see everything I do and every step I take? So he's acknowledging God sees everything you do, and he knows your heart and every thought you have. And that's true today. God has not changed. He says, have I lied to anyone or deceived anyone? He knows he hasn't, so he's questioning why he's been afflicted. Let God weigh me on the scales of justice, for he knows my integrity. So he's saying, God knows I'm innocent. I'm righteous. If I have strayed from his pathway, or if my heart has lusted for what my eyes have seen, or if I am guilty of any other sin, then let someone else eat the crops I have planted. Let all that I have planted be uprooted. So in verse 7, he says, strayed from his pathway. He's talking about disobeying God and becoming, engaging in the activities of the world and sinning and giving in to the demon of lust and other demons. Lusted with what his eyes have seen. So those are worldly things. You see worldly things with your eyes. Verse 9, if my heart has been seduced by a woman, or if I have lusted for my neighbor's wife. Do you hear that, guys? That's still true today. If my heart has been seduced by a woman. Wow. It's going on today, and it was going on thousands of years ago. Women seduce men, the evil ones, the Jezebels, the Eves. Or if I have lusted for my neighbor's wife, then let my wife belong to another man. Let other men sleep with her. He knows he's been righteous, so he's saying, if I've done wrong, then let my wife be ravaged by other men. Let other men sleep with her. But he knows he's innocent. For lust is a shameful sin, a crime that should be punished. So lust has been ravaging and destroying men since the beginning of mankind. If I have been unfair to my male or female servants when they brought their complaints to me, how could I face God? What could I say when he questioned me? For God created both me and my servants. He created us both in the womb. That's about it, guys. The rest of it you could read on your own. He goes on to describe his righteousness and his innocence. And that was my daily reading. I thought I'd share it with you guys this evening. My brothers that are on the journey with me, you guys know I don't have a family or kids or a wife, so I'm all alone. So you guys are sort of like my family, my virtual family. And I like to share what I discover when I read scripture and how it relates to us in the modern day world and how it relates to our semen retention journey. For all that is, you guys, is a spiritual battle against the demons of lust. That's what semen retention is. And it's also crucifying your flesh, which means controlling your flesh, disciplining yourself, not giving in to temptation. I think that one of the keys, you guys, is don't let your mind wander into fantasizing about images or women you see. Don't peek at TikTok or other sites. You are gonna see beautiful women. I saw some today doing Uber Eats deliveries. I worked all day. I'm home now. I saw more than one, but you see them, you recognize them, you acknowledge them, you say, geez, God really made women beautiful. But don't let it go any further. Don't fantasize. Don't undress them. Don't imagine yourself having sex with them. No, that's where sin and lust take hold of you. And that's where you fall. So you're going to see, but don't lust. Control it. Let it go. I know it's hard. I mean, I saw some cheeks today in yoga pants. I heard years ago, I read a Christian author that was saying in those days, in the 80s, it was tight jeans. And they still wear tight jeans. But I mean, guys, you've seen some of these jeans these women will wear. They're literally skin tight. You can see every curve and crevice, and it's almost as if there's nothing on them, but there is. Like skin tight jeans, those used to be very popular in the 80s. Now it's yoga pants, which is even more revealing. So the author was saying that it's satanic, that Satan puts that fashion, he controls the fashion industry, and he persuades women to wear these clothing to tempt men in, so they fall to lust. So it's important. You're going to see it, but you have to learn to battle it and control it. I know it's hard, but keep trying. It took me 52 years. So don't be too hard on yourself, but keep trying. I hope I can help some of you young men and give you some advice that you might not otherwise have known. Take care and good night, guys. God bless you.